people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman. I love what she's doing. She's fighting for us. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media.
You know?
I think that the people that come to us from that angle, and there are various corners which come to us with this type of approach, they either, one, don't understand the professional aspect of what we do, just in terms of how anybody, not just conservative media, but any outfit has to go about doing these things and how much work is put into it. Or else they're just, they're people that do know better, but they're just looking for freebies. And we simply are not in a position to be able to do that very often. We just can't do that.
Right, and everyone gets paid. I don't care if you work for Fox News or newspaper, whatever, everyone's getting paid. They're running ads, they're all getting paid, you know, they have big salaries, this and that, whatever. Everyone gets paid to cover anything here, okay? Anyone serious with a serious audience, everyone gets paid. That's how it works, okay?
Well, and like you said too, look, if we were Warren Buffett or Bill Gates and we were sitting on an endowment and we had time kind of idle by, we could do that. We have bills to pay. We have things we have to get accomplished the same way that candidates do, the same way that concerned citizens do. Right. Just like anybody else that way.
Right, and you know, these campaigns, I can name you, I'm not going to name names to make people feel about it worse than they are. I know a bunch of campaigns that blew through millions of dollars that all failed. Okay, that was just this last time around. And they went out there and they were ringing the bell for their money and they were taking their donations, stuff like that. So I don't want to hear from our audience or anyone out there, oh, well, that's wrong for you to ask for donations. We're not a charity, dude. We're professionals, we're pros, we are the best at what we do. And here's the other thing. You go on Fox News, and Fox News is fantastic, or Rush or whatever like that, you're going to have 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes maximum for almost anyone on any show. That's all you're going to get. Somewhere between 30 seconds and 5 minutes. I don't care who you are. That's almost any show because that's all they can give you. Because they have bills to pay and other people to do and limited amounts of shows, stuff like that. We are the only place where we can air things end to end. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We can really roll out a whole campaign for you, a whole storyline for you that you can't do anywhere else at the top quality with people that know. I mean, I've been at it's so funny, and people that don't know, they really learn. We all go to the same events. Why is my coverage the absolute freaking best? Why are people like, oh my goodness? Like, I mean, I'm talking colleagues of mine where it's like they thought they had the story, they thought they had the angle, they don't even understand what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and then they see what I've done, and it's just like, wow, you know, you got one or two videos out of it, I got 10 out of it, my 10 are better than, you know, than everything that you've got there, and it blows you away. I mean, we know what we're doing, and so that's the bottom line.
If a candidate expects us to listen to kind of a family member or something, that family member, not only are they hurting the campaign's chances, they're hurting conservative new media's upside. Right. So we just can't do that. I mean, that's just not doable. Finally, as you mentioned, we don't need to work with anybody. The candidates need exposure. The candidates need to be in the new media. We don't need anything. As John said, we can do a news report, we can talk about sporting event and get many more views than we're going to get doing almost any candidate's videos. And so it's important, again, we're not saying this to be rude, we're not saying this to, you know, be jerks or anything, but you need us, we don't need you.
Right. And that's the bottom line.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, those are the most important things I had to say.
Correct. And it's going to be only more dramatically so. And in fact, what we saw with this, because we're getting bigger and bigger in our channels, we're getting more and more outlets, newspapers are dying, they're pretty much gone, local TV is dying, it's pretty much gone, radio's either going national or dying, but we're also adding a radio show, a TV show in there, and the whole 9 yards. And what we saw clearly with the Sarah Palin event is that this so-called, all these other, you know, and I don't want to name names, but, you know, people were falling all themselves to get the network guys in there and the network affiliates in there, and you saw what happened with the on-air live mic slip, okay, which is to say that basically, if you're conservative if you're a Republican, you will never, in my personal opinion, it's going to be a cold day in hell when you get treated fairly, or let alone positively, from most of the mainstream media, okay? All right, you're not going to get that coverage that you want. So you can have everyone there. They will catch if you do something bad. They will put their spin on it. You will never get the kind of exposure and what I believe is correct coverage that we can provide. And so when you look at what's really out there for the kind of coverage that you need and you want, and your campaign has to have the oxygen it has to have, we're pretty much the only serious game in town. That's reality. So what I'm just saying is, we can't, especially when we're trying to run whole campaigns, whatever like that. They all take me, and I have my own other deals and stuff like that, and other things that I'm doing in market to word expand, whatever like that. The point is, I can only do 1, 2, 3 tops. Therefore, I've got people coast to coast knocking on my door. We're gonna be real selective about it. If I feel like it's that people don't get it, especially after we've signed a contract that spells out exactly what it is, I'm out. If you're not using us, you're really blowing it. You really should be using us. You're really doing your campaign and your chances of winning a disservice. I can say that with 100% confidence. 100% confidence. And you're going to somehow or another run into us, need our help, something like that. It's again, particularly in California, and it's going to be even more nationally now. But slowly, nationally, but absolutely in California, I just don't see any way. People really are not going to be able to work with us. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm not. We're not. Not God out there or anything like that. But again, if you want to get over in the mediums that we're in, and everything's going online now, I just don't see. It's very difficult for me to understand how someone who isn't already incumbent or isn't in some crazy district, this and that, whatever, who's running a serious campaign of any scope, cannot deal with us. All right. Anyway, for Conservative New Media, I am John. That is Paul. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.